Well, ooh-wee. We got a doozy here in the North Division with Winnipeg and Montreal being the final matchup of round 2. Who saw this one coming? Well, everyone's going to be talking about the monumental collapse of the Maple Leafs last night against the Montreal Canadiens. And it's been 54 years of absolute pain for Maple Leafs fans, and I really feel for them. I really do. Canada probably very happy about this matchup right here, with both Matthews and McDavid going down. The Stars are out of it in the North. And here we are, Winnipeg, Montreal. So, yeah, my brackets are busted, my guesses are busted. I picked Toronto and Edmonton to move on, and that's completely wrong. Let's see how many predictions we got correct. So in the North Division, we got both of those wrong. We got Carolina correct. We got Pittsburgh wrong. Boston made an Avalanche. So we got the Avalanche, Canes, and Bruins correct. So we're 3 out of 8 in predictions. That is amazing how bad we are. But a lot of these we didn't see coming, especially the North. Alright, so here we go. Winnipeg and Montreal. Game 1 is Wednesday, June 2nd in Winnipeg at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, which is 6:30 p.m. local time in Winnipeg. The Jets, 30-23-3 in the regular season, 63 points. They defeated Edmonton in a sweep. They have 8 days of rest coming into the series. They scored 14 goals in the series and allowed just 8 goals. Their points leaders, Blake Wheeler and Mark Scheifele, each have 5 points in 4 games. Kyle Connor has 4 points. Josh Morrissey has 4 points. Neil Pionk with 3 assists. Nikolai Ehlers has 2 goals in 2 games. That is not... He's not a point leader, but he is a point-a-game player right now. Goaltending, Connor Hellebuck. Vezina candidate, I believe. Right? Was he a Vezina candidate? Maybe not. Oh, well, a Vezina candidate at one point. Who are the Vezina candidates this year? I think got announced today, like Vasilevsky, Grubauer. And I don't remember the third guy, but yeah, was Hellebuck a Vezina candidate? Just give me a moment here, just checking that out. Tuukka Rask. Ah, okay. No, not Tuukka Rask. No, Andre Vasilevsky. No, it's Fleury. Marc-Andre Fleury. Alright, sorry for getting sidetracked there. So the Vezina candidate's not Connor Hellebuck, but Connor Hellebuck playing like a Vezina goaltender. And he has a 4-0 record, a .950 save percentage. Not bad at all. Power play for Winnipeg, 30%. They really did well against the Oilers in that round. Their penalty killing at 81.8% is 6th in the league. So it's a pretty good thing going on there. The season series went 6-3 for Winnipeg, and they outscored the Canadiens by 5 goals. For Montreal, they were 24-21-11, 59 points. They defeated Toronto in 7 games. They scored 14 goals in 7 games and allowed 18. So it's a little baffling that they're in the second round, but they are here. Points leaders, Tyler Toffoli with 5 points. Nick Suzuki, Corey Perry, and Joel Armia each have 4 points. And Stahl has 4 points as well, 4 assists. goaltending. Carey Price is back to his playoff form with a .932 save percentage. A very good last 3 games for him, with a shutout win in Game 6, 1 goal against in Game 7, and a nice little overtime win there in Game 5 as well. Power play for Montreal, 15.8%. Yeah, they did struggle in the first 4 games. I don't think they scored a single power play goal in those games, but they were able to get a few important ones in those last few games in the series. Their penalty killing is actually first in the league, with 87% on the penalty kill. So they are good in that facet. And their season series was 3-6. They lost 6 of the 9 meetings. But 3 of those losses were in overtime. So 3-3-3 was the record for them. Alright, so let's go over some storylines here. First of all, raise your hand if you had Winnipeg and Montreal in this North Division final when the season started. No one could have expected this one in January. Not with all the promise around Toronto, the growth in Edmonton, or Vancouver when they had their playoff run last year. And we definitely didn't see this coming after Montreal's hot start just evaporated into thin air, and when Winnipeg went 3-9 to end the regular season. So, they are here. One of these teams will be in the semifinal, and they will face Colorado or Vegas in 2 weeks, and they are 8 wins away from the Stanley Cup. Alright, let's look at the Winnipeg Jets. They are living proof of how the end of a regular season doesn't signal how your playoffs will go. Going 3-9 in their last 12 games, and with Pierre-Luc Dubois and Ehlers missing for the start of this series against the Oilers, the Jets have really flew high in that first round series. On paper, they didn't have much to be optimistic about. They were coming in cold. They didn't have a couple key players, and some defensive depth issues. But they limited Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl's chances, and they were able to sweep them aside. Of course, the series didn't play as one-sided as the sweep would indicate. Edmonton carried the 5-on-5 play. 3 of the games went to overtime, and the only one that didn't was a 4-1 game with 2 empty netters. Big reason for Winnipeg's great performance in the first round was Connor Hellebuyck and their forward depth. And they had Adam Lowry, Mason Appleton, Andrew Kopp, who played great, and the 3 overtime winners, Nikolai Ehlers, Paul Stastny, Kyle Connor. Paul Maurice said that at the end of this is 4 games with a 1-shot difference. Yes, they had to weather storms at times. 4-0 isn't particularly fair of it or indicative of how tight that was. On the Montreal side of things is they staged an improbable comeback against the best team in the North Division in the regular season. Carey Price being playoff Carey Price, their team MVP. And a really committed, patient team defense in Game 7 was a big reason why they frustrated the Leafs and were able to pull off the comeback. They are now exceeding expectations, and we can expect that Game 1 will be a very tough one for them because they have 2 days rest while the Jets have 8 days of rest, and there's another back-to-back in Game 3 and 4 in this series. By the time Game 4 is over, the Habs will have played 11 games in 19 days. To give you some context with that, Vancouver is different. You know how difficult Vancouver's schedule was when they had 11 games in 17 days at the end of the season. A long story short here in that first round is that the kids came to play. Nick Suzuki, Cole Caulfield, Jesperi Kotkaniemi. They played bigger roles and they executed them well. The veterans also pulled through with Brendan Gallagher getting that Game 7 opening goal, Josh Anderson getting plenty of chances, and Carey Price playing amazing. And yes, we can talk about how they have struggled against Winnipeg in the season, but I think we can just look at that with a grain of salt, because these teams have already shattered every expectation given to them in that first round. Well, I think a big matchup here is goaltending. It's hard to bet against either of these goaltenders, in Connor Hellebuyck or Carey Price. Both are playing at Vezina candidate kind of levels right now, and I expect this will be a low-scoring series. My prediction here is going to be Winnipeg in 6 games. I think that Winnipeg has the depth they need to take on the Canadiens. Defense might be an issue, but the Habs haven't scored a whole lot of goals. I think if the Jets are able to limit their chances, which they might because they were able to do that against the Oilers, we will see. Power play. It's the 4th best power play against the first penalty killing in the league right now in the playoffs, and we will see if the Jets' power play can continue to fly high, or if the Canadiens' defensive play can shut down the Jets, just like they struck down the Leafs. Now, facing the Jets is going to be a little bit of a different story here, because they rely on running 4 lines. And for Winnipeg as well, they're not just facing this time McDavid and Draisaitl, they're facing a young group that is probably quite carefree right now, and quite happy and flying high. We will see who flies higher in this one, and I think the Jets will, because they're rested and they're ready to go. That said, if the Habs take the first game, I think this could be a whole entire new story. We will see what happens. Let me know who you think will win this series, and we will see you on Sunday when we recap whatever happens this week. It's been a great start to the 3rd week of Stanley Cup playoff hockey, and finally the North is joining around 2. Alright, so that's going to be it for my preview. Until next time, see you later. Take care and enjoy the hockey, everyone.